Yeah, I know I am extremely overdue in reviewing the second season for A Series of Unfortunate Events, but you know what? Better late than never, right? If you remember, a little over a year ago, I did something a little different. I did a review for the first season of the Netflix series, A Series of Unfortunate Events, which is based off of the book series of the same name. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm really not a big reader, but I did love the Series of Unfortunate Events books when I was growing up. Those were books I avidly read, and I adored them. And then Netflix released the first season for a TV show based off of these books. I really loved the first season, so I talked about it. And as great as the first season was, I was really hoping that the second season could be just as enjoyable. And yes, they captured lightning in a bottle twice. And bucking tradition, this isn't going to be a spoiler review, because if I did that, this video would be probably around an hour long, and nobody wants that. I really don't, because then editing would be a bitch. So I'm just going to give you guys a simple review about what I loved about the second season, which was a lot. So the second season essentially takes place from the 5th book through the 9th book in A Series of Unfortunate Events. At the very end of the first season, the orphans were dropped off at this boarding school, and the second season picks up right where it left off. And again, what I so appreciate with this television series, the cast does such a good job. These kid actors who play the Baudelaire orphans, they're exactly how I pictured them. I mean, they're really smart, they're unique, they're kind of unemotional, which is very fitting because as I was reading the books when I was younger and just seeing all the shit that they went through, you kind of expect them to not really have a whole lot of emotion really left inside them. And of course, getting into Neil Patrick Harris as Count Olaf, he just keeps killing it in this role. This honestly might be the best I've seen Neil Patrick Harris since How I Met Your Mother, because where I really gotta give Neil Patrick Harris credit is the fact that he doesn't have to just play Count Olaf, he has to play all these different disguises that Count Olaf poses as, and he fucking kills it in that. He's exactly what Count Olaf is supposed to be. He's ruthless, he's an asshole, he's funny, he thinks way too highly of himself, and he's very overly dramatic as Count Olaf because Count Olaf is a really shitty actor, so he has to be overly dramatic. But above all that, you just watch Neil Patrick Harris in the show and you can tell he's having a blast playing this character. You can tell he's loving it. But even with all the new characters we get introduced to in this show, I love the way these actors portrayed them because it's how I pictured them as I was reading these books. The young actors playing the Quagmire triplets who survived their fire, I thought they did a really good job because it is nice seeing that in this show because they become friends with the Baudelaire orphans and it provides some sign of positivity for them, which is something they've really not had throughout this show. You know, both sets of these orphans have gone through some really shitty moments. They're both kind of after the same thing. You see this team form between them and you see friendships build. Even the little actress who played Carmelita Spatz, I want to get into her. She does really well in this movie, making her character extremely unlikable. Whenever I would read these books and I would just read about how she's just this miserable, obnoxious, really bratty girl, I'm just like, I really want to kick this girl across her face. And yeah, seeing how she was portrayed in this show, it was exactly like that. I wanted to kick her across the face here too. So props to the actress for doing her job. And I like that the show knew what kind of tone it was from the first season. You know, how it's kind of dark, it's kind of gothic to an extent, but it plays off that kind of dark humor, that mystery, and it works so well. They know it works well, and they rolled with it. They didn't try to change direction with the second season. They didn't try to take a different tone. They knew what worked, they know what these books are, and they rolled with that. And part of me really thinks that's why fans have been so pleased with it. But it being a TV show based off of a series of books, you know creative license is still going to be taken, but I really like the creative differences that this show takes. It makes the show really engaging and even more entertaining. What this show does, and I don't believe the books really did, it's been a while since I read them, so my memory might be a little fuzzy, but here in the show, it really focuses more on VFD. You know, what VFD was, how the Baudelaire's parents were involved, how they may still be involved. Alright, I feel like in the book, they alluded to VFD a few times. That became kind of the focal point of what the mystery was, but we never really saw VFD's side of things. This show really focuses on VFD a lot more. You know, who some of the members are, how they're trying to help the orphans without necessarily being seen. It added a lot more to the show and kind of seeing that peek behind the curtain that we never really got to see in the books, which makes me that much more excited to see how it's all gonna come full circle in season 3. One of the complaints I have heard with the show though, and in the series, is just how incompetent all the other characters essentially outside of the orphans are, because you know, they get moved around from guardian to guardian, and the whole time Count Olaf shows up in a horrible disguise and they're easily able to deduce that it's him, but absolutely no one else can. It does make you wonder at a point. It's like, you know what, they've been through so many different guardians, they've busted Count Olaf on so many many occasions, but the whole time, all these stupid adults are like, no, children, that's not Count Olaf. He doesn't look anything like him. He lacks all these features, so it can't be him. And again, audiences grow really frustrated with that and seeing the fact that every adult in this show is basically an idiot. But I'm just sitting there like, they're supposed to be idiots. That alludes to the books. In the books, the adults are incompetent. They're completely oblivious. The orphans are supposed to be the smartest characters in this show because that's what they are in the books, and that's why it's partly called a series of unfortunate events, because it's so unfortunate that these kids can't catch a break because none of these adults can really help them. Does it grow frustrating for you as a viewer? Yeah, of course, but it's supposed to. So yeah, all in all, I wanted to get this review up for a while. I was just really swamped, didn't have the chance to, and then it kind of just flew under my radar, and then I was thinking about it more. I'm just like, yo, what I want to talk about season 2 of this show. But yeah, season 2 of a series of unfortunate events. It does everything it needs to do. It keeps it going. It keeps the excitement flowing. The mystery in the show is awesome. I know everyone's gonna say, oh, if you read the books, you know how it's gonna end. Yeah, that's true, but you still want to see how the TV show is gonna take it. The cast in the show works great. The kid actors are awesome. Neil Patrick Harris is great. And yeah, Patrick Warburton is still killing it as Lemony Snicket. I really love how he just has this really stoic personality, and he just has the voice. He really has the voice of a great narrator for a show like this. I really love how well it ties into the books, but it does take its own creative license. It's funny, it's dramatic, it's compelling. It's everything I could have wanted a series of unfortunate events adaptation to be, and I cannot wait to see how season 3 ends at all. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you all next time.